Okay, now we're going to talk about prime factorization. We're going to utilize what we just learned about factors and what we learned about prime and composite numbers to figure out the prime factorization of a number. You might have seen this before. To figure out the prime factorization of a number, what we do is we make a factor tree. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the number 12 down to its prime factors. So what prime numbers would I multiply together to give me 12? So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to think of any two factors of 12, any two numbers I can multiply together to give me 12. So I'm going to pick 6 times 2 because 6 times 2 is 12. You could have also picked 4 times 3. That would be fine. It still would work out the same in the end. So 6 times 2. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle the number 2. And the reason I'm going to do that is because 2 is a prime number. That means 2 cannot be broken down any further. Once you get a prime number, you circle it. 6 is not a prime number because I could do 2 times 3 to get 6. Notice then I circled 2 and 3 because they're both prime numbers. Now I'm done. The tree has broken down to the point where I have all prime numbers. So what I then do is I list them out in order. 2 times 2 times 3. And when you list these numbers out, if you do that multiplication, you should get 12. If you don't get 12, you messed up somewhere. Now, that's not how you give your final answer when you're doing prime factorization, though. Because we learned about exponents, we can actually list this a little shorter, a little neater. And what I can do is, since this problem is 2 times 2 times 3, since I am multiplying 2 times 2, I could write that as 2 squared. 2 times 2 is the same thing as 2 to the second power. And then I can put a times 3, and that's my answer. And if I were to do 2 squared times 3, I would actually get 12. I'd still get 12. All right, let's try 75. If we're going to break down 75, I know 5 goes into 75. 5 times 15 is 75. So I list them out. I'm going to actually circle 5 because 5 is a prime number. So that one's done. So, but 15 is not. I got to break down 15. 15 is going to break down to 3 and 5. Now I've got all my numbers circled. I broke down my whole tree. And I'm going to list them out. I've got 3 times 5 times 5. I list them in order from least to greatest. So now, since I have 2 5s, though, I can use what I know about exponents to write this out as 3 times 5 squared. And one thing I want to show you is, let's say when I did 15 times 5, let's say you looked at 75 and you said, oh, I think that's 25 times 3. It's still going to come out the same. So here it is broken down as 25 times 3. The 3 gets circled because it's prime. And then I've got 25 breaks down to 5 and 5. I still have the same thing, 3 times 5 times 5, which would be 3 times 5 squared. All right.